content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca.
Okay.
All right, let's open up the door. Hello, hello. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Rumble. Hello, Facebook. So glad to see you here. And hello to all of you who are joining us live on Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and I am the hostess of this program, and so honored to be the hostess of this program. As 7 years ago, I never would have dreamed it. Never, ever would I have dreamed this, but few people took the fact that I had great results. I had some enthusiasm. They shared their belief in me, and I have just been able to take that belief and share it with others and just soar myself and help others soar as well. So it is absolutely fabulous, folks, what happens when you give your body what it needs so that your body can thrive, your mind works, you get function back into every cell of your body, and then you just say, okay, this is what I want. You set your intentions and bam, make it happen, folks. We are empowered individuals, and this program is providing empowering information that will help you also be able to claim better things for yourself, especially if you're dealing with health challenges. If you're not dealing with health challenges, you are very blessed, and this information is still for you to help you stay in your optimal best. Again, you are tuning into Daily with Doc. And for those of you who are joining us, we just want to make sure you know that the content of this program is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, and our products are not meant to diagnose, treat, cure any diseases. But folks, when you take this information and utilize it, not just listen, but hear, and then take action, it's like garbage in, garbage out. You're going to put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. You're going to put the good stuff in, you're going to get good stuff out. It just cause and effect. And we're going to be learning about some other causes and effects here in this program today on Daily with Doc. Now, if you're out on YouTube or Facebook or Rumble and you want to join us here live in our Zoom room, please go ahead and come on over. We are at dailywithdoczoom.com. And of course, it's only from Monday through Friday, noon Pacific to 12:50 p.m. Okay. So we want to make sure that if you're going to join us, you're not joining us 5 minutes after or right at the end. And if you are here with us, make sure that you raise your hand so that we can call upon you. If you have questions for Dr. Wallach about yourself, somebody you love, somebody in your community, or even for those of you who have tried the products and you're getting great results, like many of us, go ahead and feel free to share a testimonial as well. So without any further ado, it is my privilege and honor to present to you Dr. Joel Wallach. Now, Dr. Wallach is a lifetime learner. He has taken so many things, so many events that have led him into great opportunities. And even though he had a lot of adversity coming at him, a lot of things trying to stop him, he did not give up. And I personally am thankful that he is a fighter and a lifetime learner, because all that he has done has contributed so greatly to my life and where I am today that I can't say thank you enough. Dr. Wallach, thank you for being here with us on Daily with Doc. I know that you have some exciting things to share with us today. So why don't you go ahead?
Thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you so much, team. And of course, we couldn't do this without the whole team. And this is growing because we are providing useful, functional information, and it's universal. It's not a, what should I say, it's not a racial thing, it's not a financial thing, it's universal. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what race of people you are. It's like crazy. It's so simple. The good Lord made us to live well beyond 120. It's been proven here in modern times. The record in the industrialized world is a French woman by the name of Jean Calment, and she died in 1997 at 122 years, 164 days. That's not bad. Okay, that's pretty good. And so that's a good thing to shoot for. 120 years is what the Bible says, and man's years shall be 120 years. And Jean Calment proved that. Okay. And so it's one of those things where you have to do your part, stay away from the bad stuff and do the good stuff. And this is why we come up with so many books and CDs and DVDs, and we have these programs and Zooms and communications and meetings and things to get that information out there. It's the information is too valuable just to keep to ourselves. So we throw it out there to as many as we can, and we'll save as many as we can. We want to make humanity thrive, and it takes a lot of effort to do that. You just can't sit there and, eat all the bad stuff and do all the bad stuff and expect to maximize your health and longevity. So with that said, one of the things I want to do now, today, is introduce a new book. It's one of a series of books that's coming out. I think there's like 20 books in the series. Each book is into a group of animals, and the first one here is primates. Okay, seemed appropriate. And primates is a wonderful book, and this is for individuals who like animals. This is for individuals who are studying biology. This is for pet stores. This is for veterinarians. This is for, let's see here. This is for libraries in medical schools, naturopathic schools, chiropractic schools, veterinary schools, biology schools, schools of pharmacy. Okay. All these people need this information on animals because this is where the laboratory work is done. Because at the end of the study, oftentimes, they'll have 100 monkeys. They might just either spread them out among zoos, or they might just destroy them. Okay, you can't do that to people. So it's important that we have these various animals all around the world. And the first one is primates. Now, I want you to start out in this book, Primates, go to page 206. Okay, page 206. And why do I say start out in page 206? Well, that's because this is the beginning of the story, okay, with my real serious work with primates at the Yerkes Primate Center in Emory University, Atlanta, Georgia, 1976. Okay, I had finished my 10-year study, the big 20-something million grant, where I did my 20,000 autopsies. My thesis sells for $25,000 each. It was picked up by W.B. Saunders, one of the biggest medical publishing houses. And I got a little royalty every time they'd sell one of those books. But it went to that book at $25,000 each. It went to libraries, it went to universities, it went to big biology study groups. It went all over the world and in various languages and everything. And so it was quite the thing. And of course, did autopsies on over 454 species of animals plus humans. And the, again, books sold, the new books packaged, not opened, not written on or twigged on the page corners, for $25,000 each. So we came out with the book Epigenetics, which is a new science to take the place of epigenetics takes the place of genetics. There are no genetically transmitted diseases, and there are no autoimmune diseases. And so the book Epigenetics sells for $25 each, not $25,000, but $25 each. And we sell a lot of them because it's a summary of the $25,000 research project. Okay, now, right now, this book, it starts out on page 206 and talks about the study I did at, again, this Yerkes Primate Center, because they found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, supposed to be one of the most terrible birth defects in humanity. And I sent slides to 5 different medical schools. I didn't tell them the slides were from monkeys. I just said, I think this is cystic fibrosis. What do you think? And they all wrote back on their letterhead saying, yeah, this is a classic example of cystic fibrosis. I sent them samples of pancreas, liver, lungs, heart, that kind of stuff, and it all came back cystic fibrosis. Then I told them it was from a monkey. This is probably the first diagnosed monkey in a colony at the Yerkes Primate Center or anywhere else in the world that had been diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. And then I wrote up my paper because we're going to present it at a big national event here in the United States. And they said, what's this, Wallach? What do you mean it's not genetic? No, it's not genetic. It's a simple nutritional deficiency. And I can make you want 1,000 baby monkeys with cystic fibrosis? I'll make them for you in 3 months' time. And they fired me summarily. They just fired me. Wallach, you're sniffing glue. Everybody knows it's a big genetic birth defect. And they, which I say, sent the word around not to hire me because I was crazy. And so I couldn't get a job anywhere else. And so I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do here? So I started going to these various events and trade shows, and I learned about naturopathic doctors, never heard of them before, and said, okay, I'm going to school. And I got a job teaching at the Naturopathic College, NCNM, National College of Naturopathic Medicine, up in Portland, Oregon. And I said, I might as well, since I'm here, I might as well go ahead and take the courses. So I'm going to get some credit for some of my courses in veterinary medicine and so forth. Let's go for getting a degree in naturopathic medicine, which I did, ND, naturopathic doctor. And so then I began to treat people, okay, because I knew many, many things that doctors didn't know because of all my work in animals and all the autopsies I did and so forth. And to make a long story short, there's, again, at the end of this book, 206 to 215, 206 to 215. This segment at the end of the book goes through my experience of discovering the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, getting it, agreed upon, as that's what it was, and also all the newspaper articles at the Yerkes Primate Center at first sent out, well, we found the first non-human cases of cystic fibrosis. We're going to probably have laboratory animals, and we're so excited about that. And then when I told them that it was not a genetic thing, it was a simple nutritional deficiency, I could make as many monkeys with cystic fibrosis as they wanted, that's when they fired me. So I went back to school and became a physician. And I realized how backwards the medical system was when it came to birth defects. And there are no birth defects that are caused by bad genes. There are no birth defects that are caused by autoimmune problems, okay? They're all caused, I'd say 98% are caused by nutritional deficiencies, and a couple of percentage points are caused by toxins that the mother might come in contact with, early in pregnancy and early pregnancy. And so this is something that, again, I want people to start by reading, because, you start reading the first couple of chapters, you're talking about anesthesia of monkeys for surgery and what to feed monkeys. And so you get boring by the third chapter and just say, I'll put it on side, I'll finish it later, and you never get back to it. And so that's why I want you to start with the study that started the whole thing, which is the study on cystic fibrosis in the rhesus monkeys from Yerkes Primate Center. Oh my gosh. And so there's a lot of microscopic pictures of the tissues, all the damage and everything. So this is, which they say, will get you started. Then you're going to make sure that every pet store in America has this book. Every zoo in America and the world has this book. Every research colony, that has monkeys. Every teaching colony that has monkeys. Every institution has monkeys for watching behavior will have this book in their library, and it's maybe even required reading, for the courses. And that's because they're our cousins. We get a lot of the diseases they have. They get a lot of diseases we have, And so it's a lot easier to study, 1,000 monkeys, than it is to try and round up 1,000 people who want to sacrifice their time and energy and so forth to be part of such a study. And so this is one of those things where we've accumulated an enormous amount of information. And if you don't have a pet monkey, or if you do, let's say you have a squirrel monkey, you have a woolly monkey, you have a rhesus monkey, you can have all these different monkeys. You're not going to have a chimpanzee usually at home. You're not going to have a gorilla at home. But they have them in the zoos. And the zoo bookstore should have this book to sell and help support the projects of the zoo. When you buy 10 of them, you get a nice discount, and they're only $22.99 each, new. I'm very, very excited about this. And I have to thank the Liddell, who's the editor of this book, and he noticed that that we really weren't telling the story about cystic fibrosis, so he insisted and put in the history of the cystic fibrosis so that people would understand why the primate colonies in the world are so important. And so with that said, I'm going to turn this back over to you, Rebecca.
Well, Dr. Wallach, this is pretty incredible. And people are thinking, well, why is he talking about primates on a show that is promoting human health and wellness? Something that Dr. Wallach said, and it sounds weird. I wouldn't want anybody to, experiment on animals and create any type of disease, but it goes to prove that garbage in, garbage out. You take the nutrients out of the diet, and your health is going to go in a direction that coincides with Dr. Wallach's research and what has been found. When nutrients are deficient, specific diseases occur. And Dr. Wallach, it just totally makes so much sense to me. And the fact that it's not more common knowledge.
Well, one of the things that, when I talk to somebody, say, I have a health problem I want to talk to you about, Dr. Wallach, you say, okay, well, first of all, tell me, do you take any vitamins and minerals? Yeah, I take vitamin C every day. Well, what about the other 89 essential nutrients? No, I eat well. They're in trouble right away. Because plants do not make minerals, and minerals make up 2/3 of the 90 essential nutrients. Plants do not make minerals. Plants make vitamins and amino acids and fatty acids, but they don't make minerals. Nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And this is why we have so many problems. And you'll see this country has a high rate of disease X, and this country has a high rate of disease XX, and so on, because they're missing these nutrients in the soil. and they're just, quote, eating well. And my favorite sad story is Bruce Lee, who was the what did you say, existential, okay, he was
It was like the icon of health, right?
he was the icon of health. He was considered the fitness guru by every country in the world. He was always invited to speak to graduating classes all over the world. He was speaking to sports teams all over the world, Olympic teams, professional athletes, and so forth. And he died at 32 years of age of a heart attack. Now, why would that happen? Well, that's because he was only supplementing with one mineral. He was 59 short. He was told by doctors not to waste his money on vitamins, minerals, just eat well, he'd get everything he need. But he had some muscle cramps, so he took magnesium. And then he did use the brewer's yeast to get B vitamins. Other than that, he just, quote, ate well. And that's why he died at 32, because he's sweating, and sweat is not just water. I guarantee you he was hydrating with high quality, high priced bottled water.
It might have even been that mineral sparkling water, Dr.
It might have been sparkling water, which is even worse, but it neutralizes stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food. So it's one of those things where everybody should get a hold of that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It's 300 pages of safe recipes and cooking methods, plus a good food, bad food list in there. Okay, very important. Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. And then get a hold of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Get a hold of epigenetics. Get a hold of the Wallach Revolution. Get a hold of Wallach Revolution. And of course, another one of my favorite books I don't talk about enough is Hell's Kitchen, because it goes from the transfer of Hell's Kitchen goes from wood and coal as fuel, and we're putting the wood ashes and coal ashes in our gardens. Our vegetables would suck up those minerals. We would eat those vegetables, we get the minerals that way. And we would also put the wood ashes and coal ashes into our food as a spice. We get minerals that way. And when we went to electricity at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, and this whole story of the transition is in this book, Hell's Kitchen. And that book right there should be a Nobel Prize, because every doctor missed it. Just eat well, you get everything you need. Well, we gave up all of our mineral supplements when we gave up wood ashes and coal ashes and we went to electricity. Now, electricity, don't get me wrong, electricity was great for manufacturing, great for industry, but more people have died because electricity doesn't have any nutrition in it, doesn't have any minerals, doesn't have any vitamins, has nothing. It's an energy source for machinery. Okay, is what electricity is. And this transition from thousands and thousands and thousands of years of wood and coal is fuel to electricity, and nobody was prepared for it. And being a pathologist and doing over 450 something autopsies is when this book came out, but I've done a lot of autopsies since then. Okay. And it's one of those things where the mission is to get that information out to as many people as possible, because you cannot get what you need just by eating well. You cannot just take vitamin C and maybe some niacin because you like that flush and think you're going to get somewhere. No, that doesn't cut it.
Hey, if you want a tropical vacation, folks, just pop a few niacin. That's all you need. Yeah, no. So Dr. Wallach, you had mentioned this book was written with 450 autopsies. That's 450 plus species of autopsies.
Yes, that's correct. 454 species. Well, yeah, it's 20. Just that one study was 20,000 autopsies.
So there, you've got a lot of slides, a lot of experience on that table of looking at things like no one else has, Dr. Wallach.
That's true. That's true. Yes, 32,000 autopsies, 454 species, and the average pathologist usually deals with one species, be a human pathologists. They might see a few dogs or something like that from a lab at the hospital or at the medical school, or he might, see a couple of rabbits or something like that. But they didn't see all these species of animals from all over the world getting the same diseases. Now, if they were genetic disease in humans, how did a wombat get it? How did a whale get it?
A bear.
A bear. And one of my favorite stories is I had 10, 12 years ago, one of the biggest problems in the aquariums, the big aquariums in the countries all over the world, all of the dolphins of every species of dolphins and whales were dying of congestive heart failure. So I studied them on the autopsy table and figured out they were all eating the same kind of fish, and the fish had an enzyme in it that killed one particular vitamin. And in laboratory animals, we knew that this one particular vitamin deficiency caused congestive heart failure. So we switched the type of fish that they were eating to a different species of fish that did not have that enzyme. We gave them the 90 essential nutrients plus extra, of that one vitamin, and you can read it in the book. I don't want people just running to the grocery store and buying one vitamin because you need the 90, right? And suddenly now, no more deaths from congestive heart failure in all the dolphins and whales. And so when we give somebody a program for heart disease, we give them the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, which has that nutrient in there, but we also will throw in, even if they don't have congestive heart failure, we'll throw in the de-stress capsules. Okay, now you might think, oh, that's because if you have stress. No, the de-stress capsules were called that because we didn't want to, which I say, drive people to get that one nutrient in case they had congestive heart failure. So when you have heart failure, you need all 90 essential nutrients, get rid of all the bad stuff, maximize absorption, stop all the inflammation, and take, in addition to other things, ultimate daily classic tablets for circulation, the de-stress capsules, to prevent and reverse congestive heart failure. It's one of those things where we want everybody to live, be beyond 100 and not have any health issues. It's doable. We do this in animals. We maximize their longevity by giving them all these nutrients, and we control their diet. They can't run around and eat bad stuff because they're in a cage or they're in a zoo or they're on one of these big aquariums kind of things. So we're controlling every piece of their environment, what they eat, what they drink, and so forth. And we're adding so many healthy years to the lives of these captive animals that people cannot complain. Oh, this animal can live to be 50 years old and they're all dying at 3 and 4 years of age in captivity. No. We don't have any of that anymore because we're giving them all the known essential nutrients and staying away from the bad stuff. We're maximizing their longevity and health. We are making them live longer and healthier in zoos than they are out in the wild.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And folks, you can get Dr. Wallach's books at drjwallach.com. That is drjwallach.com. You can find all of his publications. We're getting the Primates book up on the website today. So if you're wanting to get that, go ahead and call the number on the website and they can get that ordered for you, or wait till tomorrow and you can order it through the website. That's drjwallach.com. Dr. Wallach, we have some questions, several questions. But the first one that I want to go to, I want to go way far south, Dr. Wallach. And I am going to ask my friend Douglas to join us here. He has some questions for you. So Douglas, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to bring you on camera as well. And welcome to Daily with Doc.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Good morning, Doc, and hello. So nice to see you again.
Okay, now is this
my name's
where were you from?
My name's Doug Fremlin, Doc. I've been around you for quite some time. I'm from Brisbane, Australia.
Oh, Australia, okay, an Aussie.
Yep, I'm an Aussie. Yep, and just about 10 years ago, I went through a problem with mantle cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Over the period of time, of course, I've been on your products, and everything that I've been on, of course, has kept me healthy all the way through, but minus one faux pas. Currently, my age is 65. My weight is around 52 kgs. I'm at 52 kgs, would be around about the 90 to 100 pounds. My height is around 5'7". And just recently, as of last week, I was diagnosed with lung cancer. With
Okay,
the
were you a
possibilities,
smoker?
with the possibilities of asbestosis as well.
Okay, were you a smoker?
Once upon a time, yes, Doc, I was.
Okay, did you work in a factory?
Never did, Doc.
Okay. Did they take a biopsy or they just diagnosed by an x-ray?
This was diagnosed by CT scan. And what the doctors noticed was there was a corona on the head of one of them. It's a 29 by 25 by 13 mil that they're looking at the moment. And
okay, so there's a mass in one lung.
it's a mass in one lump with the 2 asbestosis lumps on either side of the cluster.
Okay, did they recommend removing that lung?
No, they at this current stage now just waiting for some final details to come through. The larger part of the growth at the moment is almost touching the pleura, which is a bit of a concern that they're having. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want it to break through there. Okay, now,
Yeah.
the first thing we want to do is support your immune system. Your immune system is to be your best friend here.
Yeah.
And say 100 pounds, 110 pounds, somewhere in there, I want you to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats.
Yep.
We're talking about, no nitrates in ham and bacon and bologna and salami and
Yep.
pepperoni and hot dogs, all that stuff's got to go. Absolutely no, let's see here, no oils. Okay, no salad dressing, no cooking oils. I like to use just lemon wedges and squirt lemon juice on my salad. I also, yeah.
Same. I learned that trick from you, Doc.
Yep. And then I also want you to stay away from gluten. No wheat and butter on oats. There are no such things as good oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin sometimes. It's still gluten. Yep. And then you also need to get rid of buckwheat. Buckwheat pancakes were quite common when I was a kid. But buckwheat has a substance in it called phagopyrines, F-A-G-O-pyrines, which are worsened. So you got to get rid of buckwheat. And then no sugar, which drives cancer, and no carbonated drinks. Okay. And that includes drinks, with no nothing in them, diet drinks. You can't, and also carbonated water, can't have it, okay, because it neutralizes stomach acid. Now, at 100 pounds, I want you to have 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. One healthy brain and heart pack per month has 215 nutrients in it. The core 90 are still in there. Take half a dose of everything twice a day. And I also want you to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc, between vertebrae, bone matrix, including bone marrow, where your white blood cells are made. Your white blood cells are your best friend. They're your cavalry. They're going to go and kill and eat the cancer cells, right?
Yeah.
So you want the MSM. So you get that to build up more white blood cells and antibodies. You can kill and eat the cancer cells. And then let's see here. We also want you to make sure that you're getting the, I would go with the colloidal silver.
Yep.
Go with the colloidal silver. 2 droppers full under your tongue. You wake up in the morning, say 10-15 minutes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then 2 droppers full under your tongue before bedtime. I do that. Okay.
Yep.
And it's going to kill bugs where you might get a secondary infection, which is quite common when you have cancer, because that means that your immune system is low. And so you don't want to do that. And let's see here. Becca, anything else you would do to help the immune system?
Did you mention Oxybody, Dr. Wallach?
I did not say Oxybody, but he could take Oxybody. He could take a full ounce of that twice a day, Oxybody.
On an empty stomach.
Okay.
Yeah, take it before, you take it before, say 15-20 minutes before you eat. Okay.
Yeah.
And Oxybody, that's good. Because when you raise oxygen, cancer cells don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, keep us informed. Let us know what's going on here. And, we'll kind of walk through this with you. Okay. But let us
Thank
know
you
if
very.
have more details, from the doctors.
Yeah, well, as soon as I get that through, Doc, I'll send a message through to you as well too. Thank you so much, Doc.
Well,
Thank you.
God bless you. You're part of the family, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You
Thank
bet.
you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Doug.
Becca.
You are in our thoughts and prayers. You do amazing things down yonder, down under,
On under.
in promoting Dr. Wallach's message. And folks, it doesn't keep us from getting sick, but what it does is it gives us a fighting chance that if something ever does occur, we can fight even harder and have hope that there is positive outcomes, right, Dr. Wallach?
Yeah, we have access to information and tools, raw materials, things you can't get in many other places. And so we purposely keep everything, which they say, reasonably priced. We don't try to be outrageous. We're just making sure that everybody has access to everything they need. And if you're a member, you pay the wholesale prices. If you got an auto ship, I will pay the shipping. That'll save you a lot of money.
Well, and one thing I do want to point out, Dr. Wallach, is if you are looking for something cheap, what you're going to find isn't going to work. And it takes quality raw ingredients, which do cost money, to create a quality product that your body can actually utilize.
Mm-hmm.
So please, folks, everybody that is listening to this, realize you are valuable. You are worth the investment. And this is the greatest investment you could ever make into anything with life. You can have tons and tons of money, but if you don't have the health to be able to enjoy it or cut your life short because of a nutrient deficiency, then what is all that money worth? Nothing. You are worth millions. Your health is worth even more. So please, 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 if nobody has told you today that you are valuable, you are worth time, you are worth taking that extra effort and making sure that you are giving your body what it needs. Not so much what it wants, because when we're nutrient deficient, our body wants different things that are not going to be so healthy because it is starving and it's looking for nutrition. So we're going to have those cravings. You are valuable and you are definitely worth taking a look and giving us 90 days on Dr. Wallach's protocols and the products that he's been so active in formulating with an amazing team of formulators. You will feel the difference. I did. So.
And of course, my personal drive is to prevent birth defects in kids. And that's where I go, is to prevent birth defects in kids. There are no genetically transmitted birth defects. There's no autoimmune birth defects. They're all caused by, I say 90% caused by nutritional deficiencies, maybe 2% caused by a toxin that the mother was exposed to early in pregnancy. And so with that knowledge and the access to these nutrients, I'm the guy who, think about it, I'm the guy who got rid of cystic fibrosis. I'm the guy who got rid of muscular dystrophy, and thank God Jerry Lewis knew it before he died. They put a gag order on him when he brought him the information, said we found the cause for cure of muscular dystrophy, and the Muscular Dystrophy Association fired him, put a gag order on him so he couldn't say anything to anybody, and actually shut down the telethon. Was supposed to be the next day. And he had raised $2.6 billion with a B, $2.6 billion on his telethon, but it was his passion to find a cure for muscular dystrophy that got me involved in it. And we did find the cure. Okay, so he was so proud and happy about that, even though he couldn't be sort of at the front of the story because he was gag ordered by the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
And Dr. Wallach, one thing that I really appreciate, but what Ryan did in putting together Primates is in that section, I think what was it, 206 to 215,
I think.
15. He even includes articles that were posted in the newspapers
The major
about your
newspaper.
findings and you being fired. So it's documented, folks. Here, a news release from Emory University.
Mhm.
So it's documented. And if you need proof, there you go. Something that's tangible, something that we can get our own hands on. As Dr. Wallach has done some amazing work, and our job is to get it out there, because this work was done decades ago. It is
1976.
beyond time. Yeah, it's beyond time to get this knowledge worldwide and in the hands and ears of others so that they too can take a stance in creating healthier communities, Dr. Wallach. Folks, if you're here with us in the live Zoom and you'd like to ask Dr. Wallach a question, please feel free to find that raise hand option in the Zoom menu. If you're out on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook, I can see the ones from YouTube. Trying to figure out why I can't see the ones from the others, but I have some amazing co-hosts that are watching those as well. And as we have a comment or question come up, we'll do our best to get to all of the comments and questions that are presented during our show, and then do responses to those on the replays. So if you're watching this for the first time and somebody specifically invited you to watch this program, make sure that you get back with them and say, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Because folks, they took the time, they cared enough, and they found and see that value in you to take the time to share this information with you. Now, we do have Marilyn who has her hand up, and Marilyn, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, yes. I've been taking longevity products for a couple of years now, and I've always noticed that they mention cofactors. Can you explain a little bit about them and why they are like non-proteins?
Okay, well, cofactors, for instance, vitamin D3 is a cofactor when you're talking about absorbing calcium. Okay, this is not complicated, but it's complicated. For instance, we have programs for over 600 different health issues. We have 5,000 products. Some of them are liquid, some the same product could be a powder, a liquid, a chewable, because people like chewables. People like the liquids. Some people like the powders. And so you have to provide them in the forms that people will take them and utilize them on a regular basis. If they don't like the liquids, they're not going to take them. Okay. And of course, why were the British people called limeys? Now, they didn't know this, but they started the whole thing on supplementation, okay, in modern times. Now, before that, it was salt, it was sea salt, but the next one was limes. And they gave sailors limes just to have something to have, on a 3-month trip across the ocean. So they gave them some limes. And they noticed that the sailors that ate the limes didn't get scurvy. Now, they didn't know what was in the limes that prevented scurvy and cured scurvy, but they knew there was something in there. So all of the British people began to eat limes at home and on the ships and this, that, and the other, and people they were working with around the world. And that's why the British were called limeys, because they lived and breathed limes, because they knew that somehow there was something in it that prevented and cured scurvy. There was nothing else that would do that other than limes. And so these are the sort of things that you have to know the histories of what's going on here. And so you can appreciate why people suffered. They died from a simple vitamin C deficiency. They died of scurvy. Okay. But once they started eating limes on a regular basis, no more scurvy. It was that simple. And so this is why I think people still today, vitamin C is a big thing all over the place. There's, which they say, there's 89 other nutrients you need to have. There's 90 essential nutrients, but everybody knows about vitamin C because of scurvy. The story was told over and over and over because whole shiploads of sailors would die of scurvy. Okay. And so it was a big deal for, a couple hundred years ago to 500 years ago, that sort of period of time when transatlantic and trans-Pacific shipping was done. Suddenly now people were not getting fresh vegetables and things like that. And they weren't getting oranges and lemons and limes and so forth, or fruit and berries and so on. And so once they figured out there was something in limes, and it's vitamin C. And so that was the beginning of vitamin supplementation, when scurvy went away, when people ate limes.
So is a cofactor a vitamin, a mineral, or is it something different, or is it a combination of the two?
It could be a cofactor. For instance, vitamin D helps you absorb calcium. Calcium works best when you have the cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue. You have the cofactor of the sort of bone matrix. Okay, if you're eating calcium and you don't have any place to put it, you're not going to build your bones. You need to have the cofactors of the bone matrix. Okay, collagen peptides for the calcium to be put on. And so it's kind of like
Like a substrate?
I'm sorry?
Would you say it's kind of like a substrate, depending on what you
Well, it could be paint on top of a house, to prevent the wood from rotting. You understand what I'm saying? It
Okay.
could be tar paper under the shingles so that there's more protection against the roof leaking. And cofactors are exactly what it says. There's something that goes along with your primary concern. Okay, goes along with your primary tool, your primary substance, which may be wood, but the wood will last longer if you paint it. So paint is a cofactor to extend the life of that wood beam or something like that. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So Dr. Wallach, it's like things synergistically work better together. So I know calcium, you had mentioned vitamin D3, but there's also strontium and boron and phosphorus and manganese and magnesium. All of these things, when you put them together in the right ratios, which your formulators have figured out, can do some amazing things. Because I had taken each and every one of those individually. Well, not everyone. I didn't know about boron and strontium, but I took the others individually and I wasn't feeling any difference. I still hurt all over. I still had limited mobility until I started on your formulations, Dr. Wallach, and I felt the difference. So let's go to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach. And we have Brian. Brian, go ahead and unmute. I'm going to bring you on camera with us. And welcome, welcome, welcome from the other side of the United States of America. How are you today, Brian?
Oh, delightful, delightful. Really enjoyed the start off of the book with the primates. I worked at Pfizer and was one of the very few contractors with Vivarium Lab Pass. And so
There you go.
I'm looking forward to reading that. Thank you all. Thank you, Rebecca, and everybody helping. And thank you, Doc, for your service. And hear you on Coast to Coast as well. And always been intrigued. So thank you.
And George is wonderful.
Well, you're wonderful too for all the service and time. I know you like to jump right to it, so I have
We only have a few moments here, so let's get to it.
Right. Sorry. So we have a female who is 48 years old. She's 5'7", recently overweight, going up to 165. And so she got she was born with a atrial septic defect at the age when she was born, and it was repaired at the age of 2. So atrial septal defect. Sorry if I had that wrong.
Okay.
She developed scarsiodosis in the age of in the 30s. And she also got hardware in her right hand from a tragic accident. And over the last 2 years, she's been having to go to Brio and Montelukast for managing the scleroderma. And
Is that sarcoidosis?
Scleroderma, sorry. And the other thing that's new is she now is critically low in D and has had low white blood cells.
All right. Yeah, so her bone marrow is not happy because that's where the white blood cells are made. Okay. And that's interesting because she's in the island somewhere.
We're in the New England.
Oh, New England. Well, okay. Maybe that's why she doesn't get enough vitamin D. Okay. 165 pounds. She's get rid of all the bad stuff. She's get a hold of that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and cooking things. Absolutely no fried foods, no processed meats, no air frying, no deep frying, no pan frying, none of that kind of stuff. No oils of any kind. I like lemon wedges and that kind of stuff. And if they require a creamy dressing for a particular salad, I like to use yogurt. Okay. Okay. And then there's gluten, no wheat, no butter, rye, and oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. Even the gliadin is still gluten. And then no buckwheat, no phagopyrines. Phagopyrines don't have gluten in them, but they are more terrible than gluten. And then no sugar and no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go, and no carbonated water because they neutralize stomach acid. Then everybody should be using our seasoned salt from Australia or our Himalayan salt from the Himalayan mountains. It has 28 other minerals in there, including the sodium chloride. And salt was one of the first supplements, nutritional supplements in the history of humanity. Okay. And when you did something good and people really respected you and it was a blessing, something you did, you were the salt of the earth. Because everybody knew salt was very, very good and required for life. So if somebody gave you the compliment of being the salt of the earth, they really respected you. Okay. And then, of course, she needs to have at 165 pounds, I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose. It has 215 nutrients in each of those healthy brain and heart packs. The 90 essential nutrients are still the core. I want her to have a full dose of everything twice a day. I want her to have the MSM, 2 bottles a month of MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They'll support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone, rakes, bone itself, including the bone marrow to make white blood cells and antibodies and platelets and red blood cells. Okay. And then the septal defect, did they fix that surgically earlier in her life or is she still, yeah, okay, fix it surgically. Okay. Then I also want her to have, or let's see here. I want her to have our I think
you
that
covered it, Doc.
huh?
I think you got it all.
Yeah, because she's going to get the selenium, in the healthy brain and heart pack. Okay, so she'll have 2 bottles of that, so she can take a full dose, 3 of those twice a day. Okay, the selenium, and then I want her to use our rebound or sports drink, a rebound sports drink. She can have 2 servings a day of that, and I'd say before 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 at breakfast, 1 at noon, as late as 2 in the afternoon. And of course, we have the capsules, we have the powder, and we have the liquid. Now, the liquid is carbonated, so you do need to pop the tops on them. I pop the top on 2 of them every night, put them in the refrigerator. They're flat in the morning, all the bubbly's gone. And I think we've covered, if she needs vitamin D3, we have vitamin D3, obviously. You take 3 of those twice a day. And the sarcoidosis, that's scar tissue. This is where the MSM is going to help her. Also, she needs the collagen peptides. It's collagen from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. And she should get 2 canisters per month. So she can take a full dose at breakfast, full dose at dinner time. Okay. And then, give us a call every couple of weeks. Let us know how she's doing. Let us know if she goes to a doctor and gets some kind of update. But these sorts of things are very typical of an American who is not supplementing completely, or they are supplementing and then they're eating gluten and eating oils and sort of interfering with the absorption utilization of the nutrients because of the other things they're eating. And so all this needs to be cleaned up. But these sort of things, we can add 15, 25, 50 years of people's lives. Why die at 60 when you can live to be 120?
There is one more thing, Dr. Wallach.
Mhm.
How about the nightly essence? Now, with the nightly essence, it does have enzymes in it, but when it's not working on food, it turns into a metabolic enzyme, which has been shown to work on scar tissue.
Mhm.
So nightly enzymes, I know pharmacist Ben recommends that, taking 2 at bedtime to help
Nightly
with that.
essence, nightly essence. Mhm.
Nightly essence, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sure, can't hurt. It's
All right.
a blessing.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you so much, Brian. Great
Thank you,
question.
Brian.
Thank
Mhm.
you for coming on with us today. And Dr. Wallach, I'm going to kick you out of here, my friend. Nicely, of course, because it is time for you to go to your next program. And thank you so much again for all the information and the time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca, and thank you, team. I will see you in a bit. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. And if I could get my co-hosts on with me, that would be absolutely fabulous, because I could not do this without them. We have our technical stuff going on. We have stuff in the chat. We're letting people in. We're making sure that all the cameras are showing things that we want the world to see and not embarrass you. And it all takes a team to do it. So I am so grateful for my team. We have Marilyn Pizarro-Spear with us today, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, and also we have Sherry Browning. I could not do it without these lovely ladies. I love the fact that I'm able to surround myself with some amazing people. And folks, if you're looking for a community and want to surround yourself with some amazing people, then consider joining us with Longevity. Longevity is built of, and this program is sponsored by, of course, dailywithdoc.com. But dailywithdoc.com is a collection of independent distributors, such as myself and the ladies that we have here with us. And we just have a heart and passion for people and making sure that they have knowledge that is building the body and not tearing it down. If you were referred by somebody specific, get back with them and say, hey, do you have a team? I want to be part of a team too. I want to be able to gain more information, because we have an amazing health coach program that is actually presented by the Institute of Holistic Health. And that certified holistic health coach course goes deep into the 4 areas of health, how they're affected by nutritional deficiencies, and then also solutions, which is something you don't find with most health coaching courses. That's one thing that I love the best about the Institute of Holistic Health. And as the student services director, it is my honor and privilege to be able to help people not only find knowledge, but also build successful health coach businesses. So again, thank you for joining us here on Daily with Doc. If you want to get a replay of today's program, that will be available in a couple days on dailywithdoc.com, but it's available right after this show on YouTube. Look for Critical Health News for the channel, Rumble, again, Critical Health News, and on Facebook, just look for Critical Health. You will find replays of this program live and easy to get to. So follow us. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and it is my honor and privilege to provide this resource to you. Until next time, bye for now.